One more day of drama-free podcasting.
Welcome to the Bleeding Burgundy Podcast, a Washington football podcast by fans for fans. With your hosts, Jesse Martin.
You want to play what? Okay. Say hello to my little friend.
John Taylor.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
And Keith Gray.
The King, your Majesty.
And now here's your host.
Me, John Taylor.
You cut that off pretty short. I'm glad I'm still dressed.
Yeah, and I'm glad Scott got up off the ground. Hey, anyway, hey, happy Friday to everybody. This is the Bleeding Burgundy Podcast. I'm your happy host, John Taylor, over here to my, Jesus Christ. He's over there. That's Jesse. How you doing, Jesse?
You're right. I'm good.
All right, to my right, but depending on how, I don't know, fuck it. But I know where Scotty is. Scotty is in Barrow and Furnace, UK, and he's right down there below. Now, tomorrow, Saturday morning, I am going to begin work on the brand new animated introduction to the Bleeding Burgundy Podcast.
Ooh.
Yes.
Ooh, exciting.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. I got to tell you, man, we should have a world premiere for this because it's really going to be pretty good. And I've been smart about it this year. I am going to pre-record myself saying Keith can't be with us again this week, so I don't have to even waste any time with any of that. All right, I don't know where Keith is right now, but he did say that once the season got started, he would be here and rolling. I was pretty sure he wasn't going to come on because once it gets past the quarterback and Bijan Robinson, he doesn't know what the fuck's going on.
Bijan Robinson, yeah.
He loves Bijan Robinson. All right. Anyway, so what's going on in Commanders Land? What do you think about this week, Jesse? It's been quiet.
Pretty quiet. Yeah, I mean, other than the Terry news that it's not too serious, but he might miss a week. It's uncertain. It's up in the air, and that's okay. I think we'll be okay against the Cardinals because the Cardinals looks like they're tanking. They're getting rid of Isaiah Simmons to the Giants, which let's be all honest, he hasn't been good anyways.
No.
So,
did you see the play that did him in? Did you see the play that did him in? There was a touchdown. He came across the field to make a hit at the one. He could have made the hit, but then he pulled up and let the guy walk into the end zone. Yeah. You know what? Yeah. You give that kind of effort. Oh, by the way, the Giants also signed Prince Amukamara. So what that tells me is they're fucking desperate in the secondary. Yeah, he's back.
Yeah, I think Washington fans should not sweat this signing whatsoever. It's just he hasn't been a good pro. I know a lot of fans wanted us to trade back and draft him in that Chase Young year. I was never a fan of Isaiah Simmons. He was always a tweener. They didn't know where to put him, and I don't think the Giants are going to know what to do with him either.
I'll give Brian Dable credit. He did have a doggone good year last year. He's a good coach. So I don't. Even though I think it's pretty well, I wouldn't say widely considered that they're the dogs of the NFC East because a lot of people just don't see us coming. But I don't think they have as much talent, but they do have coaching, and that goes a long way. Sometimes it depends on what they do. But honestly, can you name me one wide receiver in New York, Scott?
Jalen Hyatt, I think is one of them that they just drafted. I think.
There you go.
Yeah, I can't really. I'm not really, if I'm being honest with you, John. I think that's a guess. Overall, though, I agree with you. I think Daboll's had a good season last year. I think that he's an underrated coach. I also like their offensive coordinator. Is it Kapka? Is that his name? Did he come from Kansas City? I think to them last year. Pretty good coach by all accounts. I think yes, you're right. I think they've got good coaching, but I mean, on my obviously, I'll just 2 seconds. I'll just look at my give a fuckometer. Oh yeah, it's reading 0, John.
0.
So, we'll move on.
A nil from Scotty here on his give a fuckometer for the New York Giants. Look, you brought up the Giants, and we've gotten onto the Giants. And here's what I always say about the Giants: fuck them. They're subhuman. I can't stand them. I've never liked the Giants. They're my least favorite team. Phil Simms is an asshole. He knows why. Mark Bavaro can kiss my cock, and he knows why. All right. So, sorry, I know Mark Bavaro listens, and I'm sorry, dude. You just ran all over us. You guys ruined a lot of my Sundays. But the fact of the matter is that the Commanders cannot beat them. And
that's true.
As such, we have no room to talk about them, even though we're talking about them because fuck you, Daniel Jones.
Fuck you, Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones.
Still,
Fuck you.
Still one of the greatest.
Greatest
songs.
CDs
It's
ever
very
made.
versatile, isn't it? Just versatile. That's all
It is versatile. Well, I'll tell you what. So why don't we just stick with this theme here and go around the NFC East just a little bit, get our opinions and impressions about certain things. So I have been out all day shopping with my wife on my day off because my wife said, "Hey, you need a day off. So how about drive me all over the fucking state and let's go shopping at outlet malls." Outlet malls. Outlet malls. Holy fucking shit. You know what outlet malls are? Stores that I am 35 years too old to be in, for one thing. Overpriced, unbelievable shit, and nothing but boots and pants and boots and pants and boots and pants and boots and boots and pants and boots and pants. All the way, every fucking store you go in, it's a different boots and pants and boots and pants, but it's the same fucking beat everywhere you go. I go in there and I think I texted you today, Jesse. I was cussing into my goddamn phone.
He was
a gray sweatshirt with a goddamn polo logo on it. I swear to God, it was an inch big if it was anything. $168. Holy fucking shit. And there's my old
cheaper than that shit.
Yeah, $168. That's what I think of that shit. Fuck you, Daniel Jones, and your overpriced shit. So anyway, and the bottom line is I've missed all news today. So has anything happened? I saw the Eagles were hot on for Jonathan Taylor. Which sounds like they're kind of
going to happen.
I thought it was the Dolphins.
I've heard. I think I was watching last night. You know,
I think you're right, Jesse. The Cardinals are tanking. I mean, they got rid of an offensive tackle as well, by all accounts. I don't know if he went to the Colts.
For a 7th round pick. The Texans. Jonathan Jones,
Texans.
I think. But then they go and pick up Joshua Dobbs because Colt McCoy is
the quarterback. Joshua Dobbs, so in the bald quarterback who looks like he's about 35.
Looks like Ryan Shazier. Because Colt McCoy is. Have you seen any of these clips?
Dude, he can't even throw it. He looks like Taylor Heineke.
Yeah,
he does. The ball comes up 5 yards short on everybody.
They haven't named a starter, but I think, and this should worry some Commanders fans because Joshua Dobbs is a lot better than
shocking.
Boy.
Still, no, come on, Jesse, he's awful.
1983.
I know we've shown that a lot, but that was actually rated the 4th best pass in Cardinals camp this summer. So
they had to do something. So I don't know what the hell they're doing, but I'd much rather go up against Colt McCoy than a total unknown.
So this brings up a question. Since, as usual, we are all over the road with no direction except for wherever the conversation goes. But the question would be: is this a trap game in Week 1 for a team that is probably looking pretty confident?
I mean,
John, if I fly 5,000 miles to watch them lose to the worst team in the NFL, I'm going to be. I'll stand outside that tunnel and fucking clothesline people. I swear, it's just.
We'll have to get you a bucket to stand on.
Yeah, exactly. Get me a soapbox, John. Yeah.
That's right. Yes.
I mean, have you seen the size of Jonathan Allen's arms, by the way? Like both my legs put together.
Oh, yeah.
You guys know that my pessimistic ass is going to pick the Cardinals to win.
Of
course you will. And that would be good because that'll give us a better chance to win if you pick against them.
They have to be the worst. They don't like Kyler Murray. That's clearly obvious, even though for whatever reason they signed him to another deal. But then there was that whole homework clause that never got got mysteriously taken out. He's injured. He's not going to come back. And then you think, well, hold on a minute. What are the Cardinals doing? I honestly think they're in the Caleb Williams sweepstake.
I'm sure.
And I think they're going to be the worst team in the NFL by miles. I don't know.
Peter, thanks for joining us, buddy. Again,
what's up, Pete?
Do you know the comments that Jerry made? They were quite funny, to be honest with you. They were pretty damn funny. But this
goddamn right. Let me tell you something. If you're going to be caught speeding in Texas, Look, I'm all for the 98 mile an hour speed limit. Let's just get it out there and get it going. There's nothing between here and goddamn Del Paso. Just let him drive as fast as he wants. And if he gets in town and hits somebody, well, look, that's what money's for, right? That's what I'm saying. And I paid him a healthy bonus. He should be able to afford to get himself out of just about anything.
I think this is a recurring problem with these NFL players. Is becoming kind of like, why are you guys doing this?
Because they're young. They think they're indestructible, just like any 20-year-old. Every 20, dude, you know the things that I did when I was 20? Holy fucking shit. I should not be alive. But, and most of us are probably that way. I mean, Scott was out on the battlefield fucking filling teeth.
To be fair, I actually was.
He was out on the battlefield.
20 years old I was.
putting fucking caps in
that's right.
Yeah.
We're under fire. Your sizes need cleaning. Right?
Yeah, I had a good laugh about that one. But I think this is an ongoing serious problem that I think the NFL needs to kind of step in and hopefully possibly save some lives here.
Right, but make your example off of somebody other than Jamin Davis. All right.
The guy, the guy,
yeah,
exactly. But I mean, if you look at the incidents we've had, though, we've had quite a few over the summer. We've had like not just Jamin Davis. There was another one like a week after him. I can't remember who that was. Then you've got the guy at the Raiders who obviously got cut, who was a pretty decent Ruggs, wasn't it? Henry Ruggs.
Henry Ruggs killed somebody.
You know, I mean, well, Deshazer Everett.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It doesn't. You've got to be seriously fucking stupid to do this. I mean, what was Davis 142 in a 40 or
have
something?
you seen just any? You just go on YouTube or TikTok. People, this is fun anymore, man. If you go drive, well, Scott, you don't live here, but I'll tell you what. If you want, we can get in the car on Friday while they're all golfing, and we'll drive from DC to Philadelphia and back on 95, and I guarantee you, we will see at least a dozen people doing well over 120, zipping in and out of traffic. Yeah. It's fun. You see the videos all the time from these people. So anyway, we're all off the subject. I was going to ask you what you thought about the Eagles since we were talking about the NFC. So what do you think about the Eagles? I don't think I've seen much of their starters play at all in this preseason.
No, and you know what I say? Like you are with the Giants, John, I am with the Eagles.
Oh, fuck them.
Fuck them. Just fuck them. Yeah, fuck the Eagles. We fucking beat them last year. We can beat them again this year. Fuck you, Jalen Hurts.
That's
Fuck
right.
You, Jalen Hurts.
And I got to say, best hope Jalen Hurts doesn't get hurt because
Marcus Mariota
is
not
looks like he's throwing fried eggs, man. Jesus.
But then he was a flake on that quarterback show as well, man. You could see he was an absolute flake. And was like, thank God we didn't go for you last summer. But look, I mean, I look at Philly and think to myself, yeah, you're probably going to get get very far. But I hope Nick Sirianni's crying again. That'll just make my day. So
they're the team to beat in the division, clearly. And I mean, all they did, they bolstered themselves this year on the running game.
Did he get cut? Did Mariota get cut?
Last year, I think they.
No, I'm talking about from the Eagles.
Oh, I don't know.
Cut?
No,
he played last
there.
Night. He played 2 series last night, or a series.
Yeah, he's still there.
I'm going to show you. Here's my impression of my Amazon Prime experience last night for the game. And here comes Marcus Mariota.
Yeah.
Oh, and those.
Where was he at? It was when he was on that quarterback show. Was he at the Falcons?
Falcons.
He wasn't he? Yeah.
And
he was awful, and then he got injured, and then decided I'm not going to go anywhere near the team again.
Right. So I would like to point out yet again to the people that are just now tuning in for the first time. For one, hey, where the fuck have you been? And for two, I don't ever want to hear anybody ever again tell me anything about what the experts think about the goddamn quarterback rankings in the draft. Yeah. Don't tell me, because we got a 5th rounder in Washington that's looking like he's going to go lights out. We've got the fucking Mr. Irrelevant that has won the job in San Francisco over a guy that they gave away the farm for. And I love this week.
Farm for.
I love that this week they've been showing how the Dolphins took those picks and turned them into Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. Yeah. And I fuck the 49ers.
Well, did you saw the message? Obviously, I sent you. You were absolutely bang on. You said this probably 3 weeks ago, John. What if it all goes wrong? You know, over there, and why aren't anyone?
I said it when they made the trade. They better be right.
You're right, but you said what about San Francisco? Why isn't anyone calling them out? I honestly think their GM is going to get fired.
Well, because they've made 3 out of the last 4 championship games. That's why.
Yeah,
they've gotten within a hair. So they've got a defense.
The fact of the matter, what's going on, Andy and Max? Welcome to the chat, fellas. The fact of the matter is, Scott's right, and I truly think that Shanahan should be called out a little bit more than he was, because Shanahan has total control of this team, and I honestly think that. I mean, they're going to get set back. I mean, they already with 3 fucking first round picks. Look how bad
gave away years worth of capital.
Look how bad it hurt us for the RG3 trade.
Yeah.
Right. Well, and how long it took for us because we gave up 3 first round picks to move up to get RG3, and it set us back for fucking like 6 years.
And the Rams really turned it into nothing. You know, they didn't turn it.
The Rams are going to be shit for the next probably 5 years.
They took our picks and they didn't do much with them. The Dolphins, on the other hand, I can remember. You know, I'm always talking about how fucking smart I am, but here, look, I kept saying, what the hell are the Dolphins doing? The Dolphins and the Texans, it seemed like we kept trading back and forth, first round picks and high ranked players. They cut Minkah Fitzpatrick. They get rid of Laramie Tunsil, right? They all these top picks, and then a year and a half, 2 years later, they're trading them away, gone. And well, goddamn, didn't it look like they knew what they were doing? They're playing Donald Trump chess, man. Nobody can see it coming.
Yeah.
Okay. And for anybody that thinks I'm serious,
Peter's right as far as the Eagles are doing it right. I mean, they turned in that Carson Wentz capital and kept just getting more capital and more capital and more capital. But I will say this trade that we made for the trade with the Saints. Saints got
great.
Chris Olave. We got Sam Howell. We got Cole Turner. We got Brian Robinson Jr. We got who else did we get? Fuck. All 5 of them are going to be major players this year. And if Sam Howell works out, that's going to be one of the greatest trades, I believe, in this franchise history.
If he works out,
we'd
have to define work out. All right. If we get a Super Bowl out of that guy, for fuck's sake, it's the best trade this team's ever made.
I mean, if we get a franchise quarterback or at least a 5 to 7 year starter out of it.
Do you know what's really interesting here, guys, is though that now you noticed it.
No one gives Rivera credit for it.
Correct. Now, if we have a good season and, Sam Howell is the answer, will Ron get an extension? Does he deserve an extension?
Absolutely.
Because, this is it now. A lot of the fan base is saying, get rid, move him on.
I know.
If Eric Bieniemy goes elsewhere and becomes a head coach, then fair enough. Do you know what I mean? I just think, Burrows has just put it in the chat there saying this is the most optimistic this fan base has been in 10 years. He's right. He's absolutely spot on with that. And I just think, you are bang on there on the money with what we've got in Sam Howell. What really pisses me off, and a little bit of a rant here, is the fact that the media is now all coming around to it. It's all Sam Howell this, Sam Howell that. Then he's now getting the love all of a sudden.
Well, they've seen him. He was on national television the other night. That's the first time that anybody's really had a look at him.
But a month ago, the media was like, they're really going to start Sam Howell?
Correct.
This is going to be a train wreck.
I told you. You know why? Because these media guys, very few of them do their own homework. They just put what's in front of them and they read it. I mean, God damn it. Should I have to go back again and listen to goddamn Chris Sims say Yasmin friggin' Davis? God, Jesus. I mean, if there was ever a perfect soundbite that says these guys don't know what the hell they're saying, that's it. They just look at the card and say what's on it. But from that point right there to the optimism that we're feeling right now, I do feel optimism, and it's not the usual. Just we're lying to ourselves usually at this time of year. We're lying to ourselves saying, I think Taylor Heineke might be okay. I think John Grossman or Rex Grossman might be okay. We lie to ourselves more than anybody's ever lied to themselves, like crazy. I mean, I used to think I could sleep with Farrah Fawcett, and then she died, and you say how that went. But I lie to myself. But I don't think I'm lying to myself this year. Right?
Yeah,
I don't think I'm lying to myself.
You guys know me. I'm more of a glass half empty, but
you're
I'm
a fucking glass broken on the floor kind of guy.
Yeah, but now I'm more.
Let's drive.
I have a glass half full kind of mentality going into this season. Now, are we going to win 10+ games? I don't know. Nobody will know for sure.
10's just slightly over 500.
But the fact of the matter is there's hope. There's actually real hope, not false hope, real hope that, hey, we know we got a team around Sam.
Yeah.
There's weapons,
no doubt.
Yeah. And listen, we have holes on the team, like I'll get into later. Where I put out a tweet last night, telling people to shut the fuck up.
You did. You did.
And I'll dive in that. But there's still people that are still just trying to pick and pick and pick and pick. But the fact of the matter is, we have a team, and if this quarterback works, it can be something.
Yeah. Now, see, we have ifs, and the big if is the offensive line. If the line can hold up, I think Howell is not such a big if. I think he's a little if, especially if the big if of the offensive line is answered. And for you, I will go ahead and give you this.
Sit down and shut the fuck up.
Shut up! Shut up!
Sit the fuck down and shut up.
Shut up and sit down.
You shut up.
Just sit your ass down here and shut up.
And that goes for all you people out there saying, we should have never played Terry. Why was Terry even in the game? Now Terry got a bad toe and Terry was in the game. Why we even put Terry in the game? Look, man, I know Terry's a veteran and doesn't need the reps, but Sam Howell's not, and he does. That's the team he's going to be playing with. That's his number one receiver. He needs to be able to learn how to throw to him.
This is a timing-based offense. This is a timing-based offense, and you're not going to get your timing down unless you have your players that you're going to be playing with on the field.
That's right. And I mean, honestly, you've heard me say this before, Jesse. Injuries either happen or they don't. I don't care what happens. When a guy is in, you could get a guy hurt over on the sidelines, fall over the bench or something stupid like that.
Yeah,
it's a rough game, and injuries.
Stubbed their toe the night before the game.
He stubbed his toe is what he did, and everybody's flipping out over it. He stubbed his toe. But yeah, they either happen or they don't. Injuries are flukes. All right, you either get hit the right way, the wrong way. You can get hit the same way 10 times, and just one time your ankle turns the wrong way. And
I am more optimistic about this offensive line than most people probably. And you got to think about it, around the league, there's only about 5 teams with really good offensive lines. And the reason for that is there's a lack of depth in the NFL of good offensive linemen. There's just not many out there. You hear all these people saying, "Oh, go get Dalton Reisner." There's a reason why he's not on a team right now.
Right.
Okay. These guys have way more information than we would ever think of. And half the teams can't fill a team full of bona fide week in and week out all pro fucking Pro Bowl starters. It just doesn't happen. Every team has holes in them. Every single team has holes in it. Right now, our holes are linebacker, if you want to say that, and possibly offensive line. But we sure as shit going to be better than next year because we did do a lot of work. How much work? I don't know. But I think the reason people want more, but there's not more to get.
Well, yeah, I agree with that. Scott. I agree with that. I think that probably segues nicely into obviously looking at what we're going to go into a bit later on, which is the depth and where we are within our own team. I mean, obviously the defense here, we've got an abundance of talent, and it's going to be mad when it comes to cuts because I simply can't get my head around who's going to go where because it just
some difficult decisions that are going to be placed on this team. I mean,
and don't think that this 53 that we come out with on Tuesday is going to be the same 53 that we're going to have week 1 because for my money, I think they are certainly looking at a left guard still. I really do think that is the question. I think no matter what, I think they're always going to keep their mind open for a left guard. I think for some reason this coaching staff is high on Sadiq Charles and not so high on Paul, whereas I think in the fan base we seem to think it's the other way around. You know, I know you, Jesse, you would prefer Paul to start at left guard over Sadiq Charles. I just think Sadiq Charles just can't stay healthy. That's the problem.
Yeah, I would prefer the best 5 offensive linemen on the field. And if Eric Bieniemy thinks Charles is the man for the job, then I'm going to trust him more than any Joe Schmo on Twitter or myself.
You know what? I'm going to tell you right now what's going to happen on week 1 is that when the offense comes on the field, Ron Rivera is going to turn around, look at Sadiq Charles and say, Apke, get in there. Right. He's got the same stats.
I'm sure Apke's got like videos of the coaching staff or something.
Probably with him.
There's got to be a way he's hanging on.
You don't remember
he's hanging on like a cockroach in a nuclear holocaust.
You don't remember when Ron drafted him? He got on the press conference and said, "Yeah, we think he had the cutest ass out of all the safeties in the draft." I tell you something right now.
I think
he really
Jay drafted
stepped me
him.
up.
I've never seen a white ball run
Yeah.
that fast.
Tell you what. Oh well, I did have audio of Deion Sanders basically saying that at one time when he ran his 40
Oh,
at the
yeah.
combine. Oh, he can run, and the guy
He
goes,
can
"What are you
run,
saying,
run."
Deion? What are you saying, Deion?" Deion goes, "You know what I'm saying." Hey, you know what?
You
People
can
talk
run,
the way
run.
they talk. People talk the way they talk,
Yeah.
and we should really not be so worried about it. I think Deion, I tell you what, if I could play some audio from the past of Deion was funny as shit. And he said words you shouldn't say. But hey, man,
Yeah.
people talk the way they do. All right. So I guess, what time is it? How much time we got left in this show? About 25, 30 minutes, 35 minutes?
We got 35 minutes.
Yeah.
All right. So we might as well break into the 53. What do you think?
Let's
Do
do
it.
it.
Yeah, that's
Do y'all,
right.
do y'all want to go like person by person, or do you want to kind of start at the
I've got the roster in front of me if you want to go person by person, but or do you want to just go position group? I don't know what will be. either.
Now, I would suggest that, Scott, in the Big and Boss book, you should probably keep track of what we say because we might end up with 65.
yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah. I mean, I had a look at this myself and I was like, shit, is that 25? I mean, what?
We're going to start with the offense, and we're going to go with the bona fide starters out front.
Right.
First,
Okay.
Obviously.
Okay. Name the starting 11.
Your wide receiver one is Terry McLaurin.
Yes.
I'm going from right to left. You have Charles Leno at left tackle. You
Yes.
have Shaquille Charles at left guard. Nick Gates at
Shaquille.
center.
Shaquille.
Shaquille.
Sadiq.
Shit.
Shaquille.
Shaquille. Who's Shaquille? We have a Shaquille on the team.
We don't have a Shaquille anywhere.
Yeah, we do. Hold on a second.
We have a Shaquille.
Yeah.
Shaquille Potato. We have a, well, that's
We have a potato too.
Shaquille.
Sadiq, Sam Cod, no, Nick Gates.
Nick Gates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Center, Sam
Sam
Cosby,
Cosme.
Yeah.
Wiley.
And then Wiley. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I
then
hope he
your
gets better.
tight end one is Logan Thomas.
Look, I
Correct.
tell you what, I think the tight end one is a bit of a sketchy thing because so far,
I
again, they tell me all they want. Well, Logan Thomas worked on the side field. Well, what the fuck did he do? Did he do some leather working over it? Did he make a wallet? I don't know what the hell that means. He's never there. All right. He's never there. So I'm going to say he's not going to be there week one either because he's Logan Thomas, and Logan Thomas will say, I have an owie. I have a contusion. And it's going to be our boy.
I'll bet you a
Curtis.
nickel. I'll put a nickel on it.
nickel.
He will be.
All right.
Curtis Samuel is your
Yes.
slot
Curtis
receiver.
Samuel.
Yes.
Mhm.
Jahan Dotson is your wide receiver 2.
Yes.
Obviously, Sam Howell is your quarterback, and your starting RB1 is Brian Robinson.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 guys across the front line. Oh, well,
Correct.
that's 9 guys across front line, 2 guys in the backfield. All right. So why don't we just keep it on the offense and go down? Who's our second teamers? It's hard to say with wide receivers because you know the way they list them on a depth chart is one behind another on each, but they can all play all over the damn place. So
Sure.
you know,
let's. I'm going to keep to the Commander's website depth chart right here. That's what I'm going to keep to. Behind McLaurin is going to be Diami Brown.
Right.
You have
I've got
Cornelius Lucas for your backup
Swing
left
tackle.
tackle. Chris Paul for your left guard. Tyler Larson, which I think Stromberg's going to take over. We're going to talk about that in a minute.
Stromberg's picked it up lately.
Aaron Montero at right guard.
Right.
No chance. See you
and
later.
Trent Scott at right tackle.
Keeping.
Your tight end 2 is John Bates.
See, that's where we get kind of screwy because I mean, tight end. He's a blocking tight end. I'm not bringing him in to catch passes.
Your backup slot right now is Dax Milne, which put a star behind that because I don't think he's going to make the 53.
You know why? Well, he will because what will happen is when he needs somebody to go in there and either stutter step and go nowhere on a punt return or come up short on a first down, he'll look over there and go, Apke, get in there.
Your wide receiver 2 backup behind Jahan Dotson is Byron Pringle.
He's definitely
Yeah. I think so too.
And then QB2 is Jacoby Brissett, obviously. And running back 2 is your Antonio Gibson.
It's Antonio Gibson. Although
Yeah,
I'd
and then you
say
got AJ.
he's more of a third down back. If
Yeah.
he's going to be used primarily as your third down back. I would say that if Robinson gets hurt, he'd become your running back 1, just because he's got experience.
Now I want to throw in a back/tight end for talk about for a second. Alex Armour.
Right.
Okay.
I got him on the practice squad for me. So this is where I was going to go with. So if we go off the Commanders roster as alone, we've gone through all the QBs so far. So are we all saying that Jake Fromm is going to be on the practice squad as the practice squad guy?
Yeah, and I honestly, if he came into a game, I wouldn't feel terrible. I'd be nervous like any third string quarterback. But I'll tell you what, man, I've always thought that when he was at Georgia, man, he could throw. He was good. And in the NFL, it just hasn't come forth. I mean, we saw him in the preseason game last week looking pretty good. But, preseason is preseason.
How many is that right now on offense?
So far, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. We're at 22. If we
22. All right, this is what I want you to do. I want you to cross out Aaron Montero.
That's without Aaron Montero and Dax Milne, who we spoke about. So if you take them 2 away, we're at 20.
All right. Yeah.
So you're going to have to bring somebody in. You're Nolan Laufenberg going to come in as your right guard?
I'm taking Ricky Stromberg.
Okay.
Put him in.
I think he's making it 53 anyway.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And you can actually probably put him in at either center in place of Larson or Montero. Let's just put him in for Montero so Larson can take that place. Cole Turner is going to make this team. Add him to the list.
T-E-1.
Chris Rodriguez, add him.
Definitely making the roster. Yeah,
he is, even though he fumbled last week.
Braden Daniels.
But that wasn't his fault, though. I look back at that, and that's a peanut punch. And that can happen to anyone. And what happened after that, John, is he went straight back in. And okay, he's holding it too high. He's holding like a loaf of bread. But what did impress me is he went straight back in and carried on. And he was the highest one of yardage of any of the backs last week.
I would give up my year's salary if he didn't make this roster.
Oh, I think he's going to make the roster. He's a 6th round pick. They're not going to throw him out. And yeah, he has had a good camp. He's run well, but at the same time, I'm never going to forget you fumbled, dude. You fumbled. All right.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Right now, he's got to show me he's not going to do that anymore.
Yeah. I think we're going to get a really good dose of him tomorrow during the Bengals game. All right. So Braden Daniels, add him to the roster.
Yeah, Braden Daniels, I've got him on the roster too.
So what is that, 23 right now?
Did we put Stromberg on there? We got 3 centers on there.
Yeah. So we've got 3 centers.
Larson and Stromberg can both play guard.
Okay. Correct. Yeah.
Positional flex. That's a must for the interior of the line.
Stromberg today apparently is taking snaps with the firsts at right guard.
Well, they're putting some of the first team offensive line is playing tomorrow.
Yeah, I know
they are playing tomorrow, so that's why he's getting in there. So that's what 23.
Did we keep Trent Scott?
Yeah. Oh yeah, we better. Yeah.
Well, that makes 11 offensive linemen.
No, I already got Trent Scott.
That makes 11. We've got 11 offensive linemen. Then they're not going to keep that. Man.
All right, we'll just star the O line right now. All right, so let's move to defense.
Okay,
because we're after we get our first and second team, then we can move some stuff around.
Hang on, let's see if anybody agrees. Hold on, what does Andy have to say here? When an O-line trusts the quarterback that alone will produce better performances, fingers crossed. I still have secondary questions, but I'm hopeful. Thank you, Andy. That's very good. You probably wrote this a while ago because that really doesn't have any context to what we're talking about right now. But it's a good thing for you to have on there.
John's always late.
I'm late on everything.
All right. Defensive end 1 is Montez Sweat, of course. Then you have your 2 DTs in Deron Payne and Jonathan Allen. Then
I'm gonna bring up John Allen real quick here.
Go ahead.
He's got plantar fasciitis, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And he hasn't practiced since I think the Ravens practices.
He will be fine. He will be fine.
The only thing I say about that is having suffered from it, it is effing painful. It is painful.
I've suffered from it for years. Yep, it can be. But you can get a shot and get taped up, and you as long as it's not too severe. Because he's played through it before.
He's going to have to, because man,
his second year in the league, he had issues with it. All right,
he had
Chase
he
Young.
had the list Frank too, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. Chase Young.
Got it.
Oh, definitely making the team.
Jamin Davis, Cody
Yes.
Barton.
Yeah.
Yes.
JD.
Do we get a roster exemption for when Jamin Davis is in the post? No.
It's made HMP Wormouth Scrubs 53. Yeah.
This is the NFL. Why not?
No shit. I mean, people go to jail. They go to jail all the time. Are your cornerback one is listed as Kendall Fuller, which I don't think he's going to be. I think he's going to be. Anyways, your slot corner is Benjamin St. Juice, and Emmanuel Forbes rounds up your outside. Your starting strong safety is Cam Curl, and your starting free safety is Derek Forrest. Obviously, no issues with any of those players because that is a all-star defense besides Cody Barton. We'll get to him in a minute.
So that's your starting 11. Yeah.
Your second team.
Cody Barton's just got to always get propers for having the whitest white boy name in all of whitedom.
Your second team defensive end starts with Casey Toohill, John Ridgway is a defensive tackle, Fedarian Mathis, your other tackle, James Smith-Williams is your other defensive end. Kalike Hudson, your linebackers are Kalike Hudson and David Mayo. You have Quan Martin as your backup cornerback to Kendall Fuller. Wild Goose is your slot, which he very well could be gone.
I think he's gone.
Well, we do got to remember Wild Goose is playing the outside when he was getting torched all the time. When he plays the inside, he's a heck of a lot better. So that is a decision.
So what I'm seeing is if I go into motion and he doesn't move, I know what defense you're in, and if he does move, I can get him to get to the outside and pick on him all day. I'm saying he's gone. He's flying south.
So am I.
Danny Johnson.
Oh, you got to keep Danny Johnson. All Danny Johnson ever does is fucking show up, except in last year's 4th preseason game when he got roasted like a fucking Christmas goose. But overall, Danny Johnson shows up in these games. He's always got his fingers in there poking him out, and he's not your starter. So if he's on the field, you're already hurting in some way. You know what I'm saying? He's not somebody that comes in situationally. He comes in if somebody's hurt. Yeah. But when he does come in, he's got experience.
Yeah, he does. He is very experienced.
Right.
Jeremy Reeves is your backup strong safety, and Percy Butler is your backup free safety.
That's right. And I think that's it for safety.
So that's 22. It looks like the only issue we have with that is Rashad Wild Goose.
I have some things to say. I think that Casey Toohill can't say that his job at number 2 is 100% right now because Andre Jones is pushing like a motherfucker.
And KJ Henry right now.
All right, and KJ Henry is a draft pick who's probably also going to push a little bit. James Smith-Williams, they like him because he can do a lot of different things. And I'm going to say it again, man. That was James Smith-Williams at the 1-yard line, diving into the end zone and knocking that punt back. That's a 52-yard kick, and he's the first one down there. All right, so my man hustles. He's making the team.
There's 22 right there, and we have to save three spots for the specialists. Tressway, go ahead and put them down. Tressway, Cheeseman, and Joey Sly. Those are 3 spots right there. So now
I've got 22 and 3, and then from the offensive side, we were at 23 as well.
So that's 48.
So that's 48.
That's 48. So now we have 5 players. All right. This is what it comes down to. We know most of these people are on this team right now. I actually, Wild Goose is on the bubble, but you have players like Andre Jones, F.A. Obata, which I think Obata is
he's a lock because we paid him $3.5 million.
Go ahead and
here's what I would
put
suggest.
Obata in there.
Right now, what I would suggest is all 3 of us sit down and just write down the 5 that you think are going to be the 5 that round out the thing, and then we'll see where we come in. So, okay, that's what I'm doing right now. So, I wish we had some Jeopardy music. I don't have any, but there you go. All right, so let's see. I'll put him down at the bottom because he's got an outside shot. Let's see. Boy, the mystery is building, isn't it? The suspense is killing you. Andy, my God, you've got to be on the edge of your seat.
Yeah, he is.
can't find a fucking pen.
Oh, well, Jesus Christ.
Can I just ask you a quick question? Did we keep Scott on the roster on the offensive as the tackle?
I don't know that we did.
Yeah,
All right,
Yeah, we did.
should've,
Yeah, we
yeah.
did. We did.
All right.
Yeah, okay, that's cool. That's cool. I got it then.
All right, so then
I got 3 there. Oh yeah, that's where it is. Yeah. Okay.
And Peter said, "I'm going to fall out of my couch with the excitement."
I tell you what, Pete.
This is some good shit. This is
Pete-
good
Pete's-
content right here.
Pete's not a young man either, man. Just be careful there, buddy. Don't overdo it. All right, let's see. And I'm going to say him. Okay, so I got my 5. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, wait, I do have that music. I just have to go find it. I do have my 5.
Yeah, that's who it is.
Pencils down.
I've got 4. Hang on, who's the last one?
All right, I got my 5.
Yeah.
All right, now we have to decide who's going to go first. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
What? Oh, yeah, that came up late, Scott.
Well, I didn't know my. All right, ready?
All right,
That was shit.
Scott.
That was really shit.
Ready?
All right,
One.
Scott. 1,
Okay.
2, 3, go. I cut
right,
all
I'm out.
y'all. All right,
All right,
I'm going first.
Jesse's up first.
All right.
My God, this is riveting podcasting.
All right, Kaz Allen,
Yeah.
One of mine. Yes,
One of mine.
Andre Jones,
that's one of mine.
Yep, one of mine.
Christian Holmes,
That is one of mine.
Yep, one of mine.
Mason Brooks,
Nope.
That is not one of mine.
KJ Henry,
Yes.
That is not one of mine.
And F.A. Obada is my other one, or did we already?
Wait a
count
second. I
Obada?
thought he was already on there. Obada, we already put that.
No, I
told
think
you
we did- I
Obada
think
was
we-
lock
Okay.
because
Let me go,
I would put him instead of Mason Brooks.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. Obada already was a lock. So
Okay.
I need to pick another one. Okay, I've got another one then. So yeah, there you go. So I've gone with Andre Jones Jr. I've gone with KJ Henry. I just don't think you cut a 5th round pick.
Yeah.
Kaz Allen as a pure punt returner, stroke kickoff returner. Christian Holmes and William Bradley King is my other one.
William Bradley King, is he even on the roster?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I
He
think
is?
he's yeah.
Okay. All right.
He's not. Is he not the one? Is he not suspended? Is he the one who's suspended, or is it the other guy?
Shaka Tony is suspended.
Oh, Shaka Tony suspended.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Right.
So Bradley King's still there. So it's really tough because do you go with Mason Brooks as a guard, or do you
No,
go?
I
with
just
another
ran out of
receiver?
people.
Because
we have 11 offensive linemen in our list.
what about
I think we're a little high.
All right,
You
go ahead,
is
John.
I don't see him. All right, so here's
Go
my
on.
5. Okay, I agreed with you guys, Christian Holmes. I agreed with Kaz Allen, and I agreed with Andre Jones. I also think they're going to keep David Mayo. And one of the
was
two.
Mayo was already on the squad.
Mayo's already
Oh,
on.
you already had him on there?
Yeah.
All right,
he's
well
second
then.
team,
Yeah.
All right, I've got 4 because I've got it down to
4.
either Williams or Patterson. One of those running backs is staying on the team.
Oh, what about Gore?
I'd give Patterson the edge over Gore.
Yeah, I got them. I got them keeping 3 running backs.
Right. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'll go with one of those 2 as my 4th.
But I think both of those could make the practice squad.
Yeah.
All right, my 5th guy. I know I had a guy that I was looking at.
Mitchell Tinsley, John.
No, it's not going to be Mitchell Tinsley. It might be Milo Eifler.
Yeah, keeping 4 linebackers. I think they might do that to keep an extra tight end on the roster too.
Now, did we end up saying Alex Armah is making the team?
No,
or
we didn't.
Then
We
he's
put
my
Star
fifth.
next to it.
Then I'm
He's my
taking
5th.
Mason Brooks off and putting Armo on here.
Armah's going to play an H-back type role,
Yeah.
and I think he could. Yeah, I think that's my 53
Yeah.
right there. Now, I would also say that depending on what everybody else does, because everybody's getting cut the same day, our 53 is going to turn into 52 to 51, and then back to 52 and 53. We're going to move some things around. So,
100%. I think if there's an offensive lineman out there who's a guard who gets cut that's fairly decent, that's got a bit of experience,
But then who are you moving on from to bring on? Who are you going to move on from? You're not
William Bradley King. See you later.
No, well, I'm talking about from the offensive line. I mean, you got definitely 10, you already have 10 offensive linemen. You're going to bring in have 11.
If I can upgrade Aaron Montero, yeah, I will.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, we're looking at depth pieces here.
I don't think Montero wasn't even on there. We moved him. We moved Stromberg.
Trent Scott gets cut. I don't know.
So you
got to have tackle. You got to have at least 4 tackles on. You got to have at least 4 players.
You've got
Daniels goes to the practice squad. I don't know.
No, fourth rounder.
You had him on. You had him on.
Yeah, but this is the thing. You see, it's odd because we put so much against the pick and say, "Oh, he's a 4th rounder, he's a 5th rounder." So I did this with Scouse yesterday. Scouse didn't have him on his 53 at all because he's been shit, and he has been shit. You've never heard him, John. You just had the 5th rounder there, KJ Henry, not even in your team.
Nope.
So actually, looking back at this now, this draft, is it as good as we thought it was?
Well, I think we will. I think that it is. And I think that what we're seeing, not necessarily is that these guys are failures. I think that what we're seeing is that there's so much better players that are on this roster that they got to beat out and they just haven't been able to.
Yeah.
I would hesitate to say, because I only think I had 4 and Armah would be my 5th. I'm going to give Armah the slash. Henry, you're right. They're not going to cut a draft pick. And we do put weight on it because you only get 7 of them now. I mean, you might end up.
Now, Henry is one of those that you're like, okay, if you are going to cut one because of how much Andrew Jones has developed, that'd be one. But you're going to be hard pressed to cut a fucking 4th rounder, a 4th rounder.
Right. Well, see,
I mean,
even the 7th round.
People are saying Casey Toohill's close. And I'm like, absolutely no way you're cutting him.
I just said it. He hasn't.
It depends on how much they value Andre Jones. If they think, if they see the upside is much higher and they're in a numbers crunch, you got plenty of defensive ends. I mean, Obata can play defensive end. You got James Smith-Williams, and you have as long as you have 4 defensive ends on roster, and you got another one. Are you going to keep 6 defensive ends? I don't think so.
No. You can run a linebacker.
And I think Andre Jones's upside is better than Casey Toohill's.
The thing about Toohill is he's a good meat and potatoes guy.
He is.
Last year I really liked him. He showed up when he needed to. He's got a long running motor. That dude doesn't quit on a play. I've never seen him stop until the whistle stops, man. That dude's always chasing.
You could stash him on a practice squad and no one would probably take him.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We also got to think about injuries too. There's Dax Milne. That's the one that we got to talk about right here.
He's got
the thing about Toohill is he hasn't really set himself apart, whereas Jones has been having his name pop up all the time.
Yeah.
So Toohill might get by on the veteran. He might just be steadily being a veteran out there, and we just don't notice. And they're going to keep him anyway. But that's where I could see some wavering with Henry Jones and Toohill.
And when you look at the depth there as well, when talking about defensive end and tackle, obviously Obada can play both positions. Yeah. We've got a bit of a question mark over Jonathan Allen, as we know about, which will be covered with Ridgeway coming in there. And then you've got a backup in Obada. And when you're paying someone $3.5 million, you aren't going to get rid of him. You're just not going to get rid of him. So it's going to be tough. It's we've talked there probably 7, 8 players that could all potentially be in one space.
Yeah. Oh, we've said it for a month. We're going to lose some people we don't want to.
Yeah, there's difficult decisions, but Dax Milne, I think, is being set up to go on IR.
That's very possible.
If you listen to Ron Rivera, he has this was it either hamstring or groin issue that's popped up. And he could be set up to go on IR.
When my groin pops up, dude, I'm ready to go again in 15 minutes. I don't know.
So that's it, and also I think what is very interesting is the Wild Goose and Holmes. How many cornerbacks are we going to plan on keeping?
Honestly, I think you clearly keep Holmes over Wild.
I think so too.
That's my take on that.
So again, how we always say, and we always look at the roster and we say every year there's 2 special teamers, maybe 3 that always stand out. I think them 2 nailed on are Percy Butler and Reeves. So
David Mayo, and dude, remind you again, that was James Smith-Williams. knocking a punt back out of the end zone.
There you go.
That shit
Christian
that
Holmes
impressed the
is
shit out of me.
Christian Holmes is your starting gunner. He's making this
True,
team.
yeah.
Tell you what, put James Smith Williams out there and let him wrangle around with two guys and throw them dudes.
How many go on specials? When you got specials, like if you're on a kickoff, how many are running down the field? How many gunners have you got?
All but the kicker. Well, gunners. There's only two on the outside, but I mean, and those are punt.
Right.
Gunners are punt. But for the most part, everybody but the kicker's running down there. The kicker's, following along, but
Yeah,
everybody's going down.
Let me run through a few names and see if anybody pops off to you. See if you want to trade any spots with anybody. Ben Potato,
No,
Farad Gardner.
He's got flashes, Ben Potato, but
he's
not-
got
not-
enough
not
flashes
really practice squad.
he'll hang out on the practice squad. Look, when
Thing
you
is,
get
as
right
well,
down
John,
to it,
is
Tariq Castro Fields,
no chance, gone. See you
DeMarcus
later.
Fields, Terrell
Tariq Castro.
Burgess,
No,
Nope.
Marcus Kemp.
Castro Fields, I had on a kind of iffy there because he's a slot
Marcus
guy.
Kemp came in with a big reputation as being this special teams ace, the replacement for Cam Sims, all this. Hasn't shown anything.
I haven't seen.
Well,
him.
to be honest with you, Cam Sims didn't show much, but this fucking fan base was all about some damn Cam Sims.
Because he was Mr. Preseason, boy.
Yeah.
That man had some catches in the preseason.
Nolan Laufenberg.
Nolan
No,
Laufenberg is a practice squad player, but he could be called up just to fill in some depth. Of course, if they're listening to us, we have 11 offensive linemen on it.
And Peter is 100% right. I think
Correct,
this year all the cuts are at one time. Tuesday is going to be very interesting.
Nobody's getting any work done on Tuesday. We can say that.
Mm.
Right.
Yeah, facts. I mean, again, like Akin Bula. I mean, yeah.
Atkin who?
It's
Atkin Bueller? Is that what you said? Atkin Bueller?
Did we not sign a guy as well? So we signed a linebacker, I think, and I from Buffalo, and I was like, well, who's this guy?
Recently?
And then, yeah. What was he called? Yeah, we did.
We're cutting all
Deshaun
kinds of
Harris.
things.
Any interest in keeping Deshaun Harris?
No.
Maybe we keep 5 linebackers, possibly.
No.
I doubt that very seriously.
If they keep another linebacker, I mean, you got Hudson, you've got Eifler, you've got Mayos, and you've got
Eifler, yeah, Milo Eifler.
right,
Oh.
Milo Eifler.
Well, we don't have Eifler on the 53.
Did I have him as one
Really?
of my? No, I didn't. I didn't. I think they're going to go with Barton, Davis, Hudson.
Yeah.
Another one here, Jesse, tight end Caden Smith. Can I offer you him?
That's an interesting one, too.
What about what's the other tight end? Curtis Hodges.
I don't
no,
think he
practice
makes
squad.
Yeah,
Annoyingly, practice squad, because I heard, you're listening to Logan Paulson saying this kid's got it all, you know what I mean? And he just can't catch. He can't catch.
Look, I got to tell you, I'm
together.
Jamal, who does Trap or Dive, right? I really like looking at his film breakdowns. I really like listening to some of the things he has to say. I
like
they're
Jamal.
smart.
I just cannot stand AJ. Oh, he's
Well,
fucking idiots.
Hodges came up. He had a drop in the game the other night, right? And Jamal's right. He just looks like he doesn't show any effort to try to catch this ball. And I said, this is mysterious to me because the door is wide open for him. With Rodgers going down and Thomas really being, you can't count on him to be there. I mean, I know they want him to be there, but who knows? That door is wide open. And dude, that ball was in your hands, Hodges. That ball was in your hands. Can I call you Kurt? Look here, Kurt. You got to make catches like that. Tomorrow night's your last chance to make any kind of plays at all to show yourself for somebody else's roster because you ain't making this one.
So then, on that point, on your point, John and Jesse, going into the game tomorrow, what is the biggest thing that's going to impress you, and where is the battle for you? Is it wide receiver? Is it these bottom of the depth chart guys, or is it running back that we're looking at, or is it defensive, or is it the defense? Do you know what I mean?
I think our wide receivers set. I think our wide receivers room is set and it's good.
I think they're doing the same thing as us. They're looking at 5 guys. That's what they're doing. They probably go look at five position players.
I'm looking at this offensive line, okay, and I want to see what kind of depth we really have. Okay, I want to see guys like Laufenberg. I want to see guys like Aaron Montero and Trent Scott that we normally don't see. Yeah. Let's see some of these guys, man. Let's see what you got. And we're not going to be going up. Although I think Cincinnati is playing a few starters, not Joe
No,
Burrow or
not at all. The two
anybody.
quarterbacks I've never even heard of, which is quite funny. So we took 6 wide receivers there. So we've got Kaz Allen.
Well, we got Kaz, right?
Yeah, Kaz is a straight up kick and punt return.
Kick returner.
He is. So it's 5 returners plus obviously Kaz Allen, but yeah. And the guys, I mean, Mitch Tinsley, Bryson Tremaine, Dax Milne again, Kyrie.
Tinsley has disappointed me in games because he had a good camp, but he was basically he had a drop or two in a game, and other than that, it was just he kind of just disappeared. And I thought he was going to fight, really put up a fight for Byron Pringle for that last roster spot.
I think Pringle has far and away earned
he's
that.
simming himself.
Yeah,
I think Tinsley could be stashed on the squad, and he could probably be hid for a while. I don't think anybody's going to snap him up
as well. From Pringle helps massively. It helps massively that it helps massively as well that Eric Bieniemy knows him. He can trust him. He knows the system. So
I want to see Braden Daniels and Stromberg really go at it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would like to see Stromberg play. I would like to see a lot of KJ Henry and a lot of Andre Jones. That's what I want to see. Mm-hmm. I don't want to see Ridgeway. Show me F.A. Obata at a defensive tackle. I don't want to see Payne. Show me these big guys from the back. That's what I want to see. Show me Kaliki Hudson.
Loves the big guys from the back.
I want to see the battle. I want to see the battle between the running backs. For me, that's where I want to see. I want to see Gore. I want to see Patterson. I want to see Jonathan Williams.
Yeah,
I think you are.
I don't want to see the three.
I'd play Rodriguez
as well.
I would. I'd play Rodriguez because I'd say,
too.
look, get out there and not fumble. Get out there and don't fumble. That's what I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
Go out there, play a game.
Go out there, knock some fucking heads off, and don't fumble the ball.
And I tell you what, if you give him a couple of series, midway through the first, and then he's doing well, you pull him and say, right, okay, guys, now it's down to you three to show the way. Because I think that, as you said on Tuesday, John, that Gore runs angry.
He does,
He's an angry man.
He lays the lick when he gets there, and I like that.
Tell you what,
I like.
He's a veteran. I didn't know. I looked back actually. I went back and looked at his previous teams and his stats. I didn't realize we had him 3 years ago as a practice squad guy.
I thought he sounded familiar. Yeah, we've had a couple of those running backs that have been. Didn't we have a guy named Brown?
Whenever you hear Gore, it's like it's Frank Gore.
Yeah, I always think Frank Gore as well. I really do. Yeah, but
the dude was only in the league for 50 years.
Yeah,
what I want to see is, I want to be sitting here in week 5, and we're on a podcast, and we go, oh, you remember when we had Mitch Tinsley, who's now playing for the Bills, or when we had Dax Mills, who's now at the Browns. Or whatever it is. I want these guys to get their film out there and be able to get a job.
Sure.
At the end of the day, how fucking brutal is it that you get to Tuesday and now all of a sudden you've got no job?
Dax Milne.
No, it does.
I mean, now you've seen Dax Milne.
He's had a good camp. From all accounts, he's had a good camp. He just sucks at. He can catch the ball. He just sucks at punt return.
Doing what he's asked to do. Yeah, he just doesn't go anywhere.
You ever seen? There's an old cartoon from Disney. Goofy explains how to play football. I'm sure we've all seen it when we were little kids. Goofy explains how to play football, and if you haven't seen it, it's on the Disney Plus channel. Watch it. But Milne reminds me of Goofy when he's running the ball because his legs are all over the place over here, but his head and his body stay right the fuck here, and he never goes anywhere. His legs just keep going around like this. He never goes anywhere. So the thing about Dax Milne, you said going to Cleveland. Look, Dax, you really try to make this team because you're used to a certain class of woman. You get up in Cleveland, buddy, they get hard to find. And all you Cleveland women that are going to get mad at me, whatever, send me your fucking mustache. I don't give a shit.
They got 5 o'clock shadows and a very deep voice, John.
That's right. The Cleveland Browns. Hey, look,
I'll tell you. Also, one of my favorite pitchers of all time, Steven Strasburg. Happy retirement. It sucks that he had to retire.
13 years in the league, though.
Bad situation.
I've got no idea what you're talking about.
Great pitcher for the Washington Nationals. Awesome pitcher. He was just hurt, and he had to medically retire because he couldn't get he couldn't get his rehab right. But he won us a World Series. He was MVP of the World Series, and
Do you know what? Can I ask you?
I cried like a little girl that night. Put it to you that way.
He did. He ran into his bedroom, kicked his feet, and threw his head on the pillow.
Genuine question. Why do you call it like? I never understood this, and from a British bloke, it's odd. I love this game that we're talking about, but why is it the World Champions? And why is it the World Champions or the World Series?
Because we decided that that's what it was, nobody else was doing these things. These were sports that we
the
developed.
real
here.
reason.
Nobody was, and the fact of the matter is, hey, fuck off. That's what it is. That's the reason.
So you fucking stole rounders. You stole rounders. You stole rugby. What? We've invented these sports. We invented baseball. Thanks very much.
Listen, baseball is the most diverse.
Oh yeah, we're not the world champions
game on the planet.
Right.
Like people from all over the world play baseball.
I knew this.
Whatever your favorite team is, like 85% of it is from below the equator.
Yeah,
so probably it is. It's an international game.
It's very internet. It's for the best players from all around the world.
Exactly. Right. And I gotta say that if any fucking teams that want to get together, I don't know, over and fucking let's go to Nice.
Your trigger.
Let's go to Nice in France. And why don't you guys put together a pro football team and play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? And let's see how you do.
I understand it, mate. But fucking hell, you can't call yourself world champions when you're the only fuckers playing.
Well, that's the thing about it. We can do whatever we want. Y'all never understood. See, this is the thing about the British. The British have never understood that about us. Is that we decided in 1776, hey, fuck you. We're going to do what we want. We're not paying this tax on any of this shit. Fuck your stamp and all that stuff. And see, they just sit back and they go, I don't understand why you all feel. Why you feel all these things about yourselves? Because we do.
But then that's why.
When the rest of the world says
Americans,
send us condoms. We type extra large on all of the small ones.
2 years late to a war, and everyone calls yourself Irish or Scottish. Because your great-great-granddad, fifth generation down, was a quarter Irish.
Yes, mine was. I have my grandfather. My great-grandfather was English, and another one was Russian.
I'm Native American and Irish.
Native American.
See, I'm probably half Norwegian, but I don't fucking claim it. I
don't care either. I couldn't give a shit either. You know what I am? I am a Washington Commanders fan, born in the fucking shadow of the goddamn Washington Monument. I'm as red, white, and blue as they get. And if anybody don't like it, they can fuck off. All right. Well, there you go.
And political context and the great friendship that we have together.
That's right.
And I got a big fuck you.
A big fuck you. Let's hear a big fuck you. Hang on a minute. Let's get this right.
Sit down and shut the fuck up. Shut up! Shut up! Sit the fuck down and shut up! Shut up and sit down. Shut up! Just sit your ass down here and shut up.
Thank you, John. Now just bear with me just for a moment. Now look, this team, we as fans have gone through the struggle. I mean, the struggle is real for the past 24 plus years.
That's right.
We have suffered through Dan Snyder taking this team that we love through so much turmoil, and this fan base, a lot of it has stayed with it. And now that Josh Harris has purchased the team, we can get it back. We're getting it back. For the past couple of years, Ron Rivera, I stated when Ron came that I don't know if he's the guy to take us to the Super Bowl, but he's the guy to help right this ship. Okay. Jason has come along and tried to work from the inside, but as we all know, working for Dan Snyder and with Dan Snyder is not the easiest fucking thing to do in the world. Well, now that Josh Harris has come aboard, it's a new day in Washington Commanders Redskins football team land. There is a big light that has that's opening up at the end of the tunnel. A lot of good things are happening here. Hell, we might even have a quarterback. Ron Rivera has built a team. Okay, I think one thing has been left to the dust, and that's the quarterback. But you can't tell me 15 teams that has a franchise quarterback because it's the fucking hardest position,
the rarest thing in
the world to fill in any sports. In any sport, the hardest thing to fill is a quarterback. Offensive linemen, and this is shouldn't be news to anybody. Is very hard to get 5 really good starters. I mean, you get what's out there, and you as coaches and managers and scouts, they try to do their best to bring the best people in. Sometimes those people don't want to come, or they don't want to sign. They want to sign somewhere else. But goddamn, get the fuck off of Ron Rivera's back. I mean, this man has come in, has suffered cancer, has suffered Dan Snyder, and is still doing everything that humanly possible to right the ship and to bring us some semblance of happiness to be competitive. And by God damn it, we had the worst motherfucking quarterback room in the league last year, and we still won 8 games with a offensive coordinator who had good play designs, wasn't the best play caller in the fucking world. And we still won 8 fucking games.
That was a hell of a play to Crow right there. Jesse just ate a big play to Crow right there with
so
Scott Turner. Go ahead.
That was
for those still looking at picking and hating on this team for any little thing, some fucking, something somebody said, a coach said about a player, and you're still trashing it. I mean, what the fuck is wrong with you, Mark Tyler? I mean, get off your fucking ass and go fucking do something. Every time I open up Twitter, you say some stupid fucked up shit about Ron Rivera.
He just got hired by Bleacher Report, I think.
Everybody's getting hired by Bleacher Report. It's not being hired.
Oh,
okay. It's a fan-run fucking business now. So this is put that out there right now.
Associates.
So, Mark Tyler, shut the fuck up, man. Just shut up. I'm tired of fucking seeing you trash this fucking team, trash fucking Ron Rivera on a daily basis. Did he piss in your Wheaties or something? Like, seriously? Shut up. And that goes to all you motherfuckers out there. Just shut the fuck up and enjoy what we do have. Dan Snyder is fucking gone. Okay? Dan Snyder is fucking gone. It is a goddamn new day. Stop just trying to find things to fucking bitch about. Because that's exactly what you're doing, is just trying to fucking find things to bitch about. Stop fucking bitching.
Sit down and shut the fuck up.
Shut up! Shut up! Sit the fuck down and shut up!
Shut up and sit down.
Will you shut up?
Just sit your ass down here and shut up.
This very special edition of Sit Down and Shut the Fuck Up went out to Mark Tyler. Mark Tyler, Jesse Martin says, sit down and shut the fuck up.
Becoming, I had to fucking block him. It's every fucking day, man. You just see, it's like, why?
But even though you blocked him, Jesse, I'm going to send you direct messages of his tweets.
I will.
And you're a fucking
I like
dick.
Mark. I take Mark with a grain of salt, just like everybody else. There's only a few people that I actually block, and very rarely do I block anybody for football opinions. So I'll block them for their stupid goddamn.
No, he has something against Ron, and he's just trying to find stuff like every day, and it's just it's becoming insufferable. And
do you think we're playing with house money, Jesse, as the term goes now this season? Because obviously the schedule is really hard.
Listen, it's a new era with this franchise. Every fan of this team should feel hope, because the fucker that drug this team through the mud for years and years and years is gone.
He's gone. He's gone.
So we can't get. It's only going to go up. It's only going to go up. Whether we win, whether we have found our franchise quarterback, because what I said is true. It is the hardest fucking position to find, and there's no perfect team. There's no coach. There's no general manager that has a perfect roster.
Dude,
there's going to be holes in a fucking team.
We brought the 49ers up right off the bat in the first part of this show. They're going with Mr. Irrelevant and Sam Darnold over the guy that they gave away fucking 3 years worth of picks for.
I just think Ron just gets way too much shit. Way too much shit.
He does. And I mean, the fact of the matter is this: it's the proof is in the pudding. So win, Ron, and everybody will shut up. Win, Ron, and that's that. All right, so we are at 108 and 44 seconds. We are over our time as we usually are. So I'm going to go ahead and put on our get the fuck out of town music. And we're going to watch us a football game tomorrow night. Hope nobody gets hurt. We're going to have to come into the season with everybody that we possibly can, including Terry McLaurin. So, hey, man, let's have a good game tomorrow night.
A killer game plan against them Cardinals, man. They're scaring the shit out of me.
I do want to make sure.
44-0.
He's calling it now.
Oh my
Christ,
God! On our way to 17-0 in a Super Bowl.
Absolutely, we are, John. You know it, and I know it.
Scott, on August the 24th or August the 23rd at 5:37 p.m.
So by our next show on Monday, I'm sure we'll have our roster or cuts will start to leak out. We'll talk about that, but we need to get together
Monday,
and talk about.
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Tuesday's cut day.
Yeah, Tuesday.
All right, so
right.
we can go
Cuts
Tuesday
will
or
happen
Wednesday.
by then.
Yeah, let's do Tuesday. That's right. I'm sorry.
Tuesday.
Monday is the bunker. I'm sorry. So we'll talk about the cuts and then our following Friday show. Then we'll do our superlatives and
get ready for the season. Yeah,
get ready for the season. Yeah.
Well,
and
now let me ask
boys?
you this: so we will have our first Saturday picks show coming up. That's the Saturday before the game, and
we're gonna do that beforehand. We're gonna do that before because we're all gonna be out of town.
Oh, that's right.
We're gonna be in town actually.
Everybody, that's right. So we're going to have to at least get to Scott and give our picks so we can, at least make sure they're in the book.
Probably do that Thursday, I think.
Well, you got to sleep. I forgot what the hell I was going to say because I'm old and that's the kind of shit that happens. But
no, we decided to do Wednesday before that.
That's right.
The weekend.
The post game show. Is this a go now?
Yes, it is a go.
All right,
we
so
have
everybody,
a new show.
Yes, we are going to have immediately following the game.
Yes.
Whoever's sober enough or drunk enough to get on the podcast, we're going to throw us together with the Bunker podcast and whoever else decides to show
the
up.
1 point safety. It's going to be Bleeding Burgundy in a bunker after scoring a 1 point safety. And it's going to be immediate reaction. This might not be every week. It's not going to be one night games because all of us are old and need to go to bed. And some people live, 8 hours fucking behind.
I'm not getting on a podcast at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Come on.
But we're gonna get together for about 20 to 30 minutes and do a immediate buzzed up drunk reaction to the game.
That's right. And I guarantee you, if we lose, what we're gonna get out of Jesse is fuck it, I'm not coming on shit.
Jesse, are you there?
That's right.
And you get my double ring.
All right. All right, so we know at least Pete will be there for that. Good to see you, Pete.
Just
if
think,
I remember,
boys, 2 weeks now, 2 weeks exactly now, I will be with you.
Yep, I will be picking you up from. Well, actually, we'll be at FedEx meeting with the ownership group. I mean,
that'd be cool. Hey, do me a favor. Stick your hand out like you're going to shake Josh Harris's hand, and then pull it back and go.
Yeah, I'll do that.
All right, then, ladies and gentlemen, we will see you next week to talk about the cuts.
Till then.